Hello, this is Todd Shank from Premier FPL. I'm gonna try to keep this one pretty brief, but just wanted to put something out here today just to prep for the upcoming game week, since they're going to be coming up pretty quickly here over the next couple of weeks. So I do have my game week 28 through 32 fixtures ranking up. And this has, so for the double game week 32, it does have some of these that are probables, but the key one to notice is Wolverhampton and Manchester United. Their fixture is set for game week 32. So there is definitely the double game week for both Wolverhampton and Manchester United. The other one then looking ahead is the double game week 35, where the Manchester Derby is set to be a double game week for 35. So those are the two key ones to look at. Again, I've gone over this for the game week 27 tips, just to make sure that you do have a game plan set up for taking care of this blank game week in 31, and then looking ahead for the double game weeks for 32 and 35, since that's where it looks like those will be taking place. Yeah, I think the primary one here, the two things, a lot of what I'm hearing and what I'm recommending too is you want to make sure that you have a plan for using your wild card and your other chips, but where are you going to wild card and when are you going to use your free hit? I'm still wavering on whether I want to use my free hit for game week 31 or the game week 32. And then so basically that would be looking at whether I want to set up my team for game week 31 or set up my team for game week 32, and then using the free hit chip to kind of swap players in and out depending on which game week you're looking at there. And then also looking at using a wild card, then probably here game week 34 or so to prep for game week 35. Hoping that we get some more information on which game week is going to have the most doubles. And that's the one where I'm going to target my bench boost. And then the triple captain is still kind of up in the air for me. The other key thing for this week are the injuries. As you can see, our Premier injuries, they have Rashford as 50% chance of playing. So that would be in tomorrow's match. So there is still some time, but we have to make decisions today, since today is the cutoff at 1:45 today. That would be Eastern time. Add 5 hours, so 6:45 over across the pond. So yeah, just make sure that you do have your team set today and ready to go. As you can look down through here, a lot of reds. Laporte is another one that's out. Callum Wilson's still out. Firmino is doubtful. On here, he's 50% chance of playing. The other one is Fantasy Football Scout. I do like to use theirs because you can it breaks it down by team, and you can kind of see everybody as you quickly scroll through. So if we move down here, Liverpool, Firmino set to be basically a late fitness test. Laporte for Man City is another one that looks like he is going to be out. Jesus is 75% chance. So and Stones is another one, 75% chance of playing. Martial and Lingard are looking like they're probably going to be out. Rashford may or may not play as well. So most likely it'll be a Lukaku Sanchez starting in that match. He wants for Southampton. Danny Ings still out. So some return dates coming up for the second. So this coming weekend as well as next weekend for some players. Like Martial is listed as possibly returning for this weekend. I think the other one I saw was with Bournemouth, Callum Wilson possibly returning next week. Same thing with David Brooks. Now we'll wait and see on those, but the reason I named them is because Bournemouth does have some decent fixtures coming up here starting in game week 30. So if they are able to return in those game weeks, they could be good ones to look at bringing in. Thoughts from my team, I do have a lot of players that are red here. Rashford is one of them. So thing that I'm actually considering doing is moving out Rashford for Aguero for this week. I think the two main forwards to look at targeting are Aguero and Kane. Looking at some of their upcoming fixtures, so City here has these three fixtures that look really good. Then they have Fulham away in game week 32, which is part of why I'm considering using my free hit for 31 and just prepping my team for game week 32, and then using my wild card here in probably game week 34, looking ahead. So that's basically, I think that is where I'm going with this. I feel like that's going to be the easiest thing because that's what I've been kind of prepping for. Tottenham have some difficult fixtures, and Kane, he did score, so he's always a threat to score. I really thought that he would do a lot more. Coming off of that injury, it's difficult to say how he's going to do. Let me go back to my team here. Okay, so yeah, what I'm considering doing is moving out Rashford for Aguero. The other one would be maybe Aubameyang, just because of their fixtures coming up as well. Let's see if I can. They do have the blank game week, but then starting here in game week 32, so that would be one that I'll be looking ahead for game week 32. Same thing with Aguero. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts. Aguero, Aubameyang. I don't think if I drop Rashford, I would have enough for Kane, but since I've been preparing to move for Aguero, my plan had been to drop Kamara for Aguero. So that's still on the table as a possibility to just do the Kamara for Aguero, and then I would have Rashford available if he does happen to play. And then he would also be available for the Southampton match. And looking ahead for game week 32, then I wouldn't have to drop him and lose, that 0.1. Not that that really matters. 0.1 isn't really going to make much of a difference, but at least then I would have him available for those fixtures coming up. Yeah, so I think those are some of the things to consider. Who do you want to look forward to bringing in? Leicester City does have these nice matches here coming up. Definitely one to consider. Guys like Madison, Pereira, even Jamie Vardy up front. I think you got to really bank on him getting goals because of his price point, but not a bad one. Huddersfield is a difficult one. They look good on paper, but I don't know that I necessarily trust these grays and greens. You could probably flip them to more like greens becoming grays and the grays being more of a red just because of their form and just not really playing well. You can look through here, Newcastle loss, Arsenal loss, Chelsea loss. They're not really winning a whole lot of games. Players aren't really picking up a whole lot of points, so it's up to you if you really want to take a chance on them. Chelsea, though, have some good fixtures coming up, and same thing with Liverpool. The thing about Liverpool is if you do have their players, they are not going to have any blanks. They're not going to have any doubles. They're going to play straight through the end of the season. So that's good in a way because if you have them, you don't have to worry about dropping them. Salah is actually one that, I'm going back and forth on him all season. I'm actually considering dropping him and moving more maybe towards Sterling and keeping Sterling Aguero till the end of the season. I think Sterling is one of those players where you got to put, same thing with Hazard, you have to put them in and just leave them in. You can't be swapping them in and out based on fixtures. You just have to play them. But Salah in recent weeks has not looked good. These double figures points have gone away since game week 23. The last couple weeks, he only got the 3 points because of picking up a clean sheet bonus. Sorry, let's look over here. Even, if you look at some of the bonus points, -1 bonus point for the last match, -2. He's really moving away from where we want to see him going. Now, their chances are of doing anything for this season really ride on him. So I don't know, maybe the pressure's just getting to him and he just can't handle that. Um, I don't know what's going on there, but definitely considering dropping him and bringing in Sterling and seeing if, Sterling Aguero can run out the rest of the season and lift City up above Liverpool there at the top of the table. Yeah, I think that's basically where I'm going to stop it here. Again, make sure that you have a plan looking ahead for game week 31, 32, and 35. Be aware that there is a blank here in game week 33 for United and Wolverhampton, at least for the time being, with that match being moved to game week 32. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for those. Just remember that Chelsea is going to have, they will have double game weeks here. They still have that Brighton fixture to reschedule. So, same thing with Brighton. They're probably not a bad team to look at bringing in some players for either. But yeah, anyway, that is where I'm gonna leave it. As always, wish you good luck and have fun.